So yeah, I might be schizophrenic and all that or something. I don't know. But like I said, it's just not. I don't have. I have to keep moving forward until until I cross that bridge. I have to keep moving forward. You know what I'm saying? I until that comes into my peripheral and it's not something that I can avoid anymore. I can't keep wasting time trying to fix an invisible thing. And it's such a fucked up situation. It's such a fucked up situation. And I've come up over the years with so many different ways to word it, but the best way I've come up with it is imagine imagine having cancer. And you know you have cancer because it's fucking with you and it's killing you. And one day it will kill you. But every time you go to get help for it, you'll never see it on paper. There's no scan for it. Um there's no tangible that's the problem right there. We need to fix this. Let's bring him in. You know what I'm saying? Let's bring him in for surgery. Let's get that out. Let's start, a regimen. There's none of that. And even when you think you're cured of it, it can come back at any point instantly. It's not like an onset thing. It's not like, oh my god, I'm thinking it'll hit you out of nowhere. And I'm so sick of thinking that it's letting me go, and that like like the anxiety and shit is finally letting me, is gonna chill, and only to be hit with like the worst attack of my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm so sick of it, and it's tricked me so many times and it's fucked with me so many times that I'm done trying to run from it, but I'm also done trying to accept it. So I'm just at a point of just ignoring it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just at a point where I'm like, I just don't have fucking time for it. You know what I'm saying? But the beauty of that is that for the first time, like for the first time since my mom died, I'm creating nostalgia. Like I'm creating nostalgia from like where I'm currently living. And I know that because I live for nostalgia. Everything I do, the room I built over here, that you guys got to see this, by the way, it's really coming together. Everything that I do, it centers around, everything like 2005 and before. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when I was at my peak of happiness. And of course, because I was a kid, you know what I'm saying? But I haven't had a drop of genuine happiness since then until these last, I don't know, 2 months or so. Especially after I got Darkness done. And I've like really allowed, because there was a lot of stuff that I wasn't allowing myself to enjoy. There was like some movies I didn't want to watch, and there was some songs I wouldn't like, really indulge in, or because I wanted it to motivate me to get that done. And it's just, I feel like this point in time, like this time, that I'm recording this video, these last couple months have been really good to me. At a time where I didn't think that was going to be possible. And the thing that's been fucking with me the most is thinking of my suicide attempt. I can't sleep, bro. Like I can't, it's fucking with me so much. Like thinking that like all these happy times I've been having, like genuine happy times, not happy because I'm really fucked up or I'm really high or whatever, or like I'm not, like genuine happy. And I feel warm and I feel okay and I feel like I can look up in the sky without feeling like I'm going to get sucked up into it for no reason. Especially at night. Like I don't know if I talked about that because it's like it's legit crazy person shit. You know what I'm saying? I was afraid that I was going to get sucked up into the sky if I walked out at night because I can just see this. Just look, it's scary. Just walk out at night and look into the sky. It's just infinite, forever. Darkness, forever. It just goes and goes and goes. And like the little dots you see are other planets and stars and or suns or whatever. And it's just too much to comprehend, bro. Like really try to comprehend infinity. The concept of infinity is impossible to wrap your mind around. The concept of infinity, like that means there's a version of you watching this on, so if you go far enough in one direction in this universe, in this construction of whatever this is, assuming it is infinite, it means that there's some version of you watching this with no teeth. You know what I'm saying? There's a version of you watching this on fire. There's a version of you watching this 2 seconds older. There's a version of you watching this 1.4 seconds older. There's a version of you watching this 1.3 seconds old. You know what I'm saying? It's infinite. It's every possible thing you conceive of actually happening. So when I look out and I open this window and I look out into the fucking universe, it scares me. And I get adrenaline to the point that it feels like it's gonna like suck me up into it, you know what I'm saying? And I know that sounds ridiculous, but if it does happen, I'm not gonna be able to go like, oh, see, I was right, you know what I'm saying? It will have already happened. And that's the same problem with the solipsism and stuff. I just have a problem with thinking that things are gonna blip out before I have a chance to do anything about it. You know what I'm saying? Before like I have it. And maybe that's just representative of a lot of the bad things that's happened in my life up to this point, but that's what all of my core fears come down to, is that I'm going to be just, chilling, doing my thing, and just out of nowhere, it's all going to go away, and I won't have a chance to say or do anything about it. And I'm just going to just be stuck with my thoughts and nothing to, and it's just, I don't know why that fucks with me so much. And I don't know where I was going with this. Fuck. Hold on. So yeah, I don't have time for all that. But yeah, the withdrawal started getting crazy for like physically, for like 2 or 3 weeks. All of my blood pressure started to go through the roof. And there was 2 days specifically where I woke up and I just started getting shocked with like, not shocked, but I would just get hit where half my body on the right side would go numb. Dead numb, B. Like my face, my tongue, everything, just, and not like tingly numb, like if you sit on your hand for too long, but like no feeling, like nothing. Like the only thing I could really feel was like on the inside of like my bones, just from the inertia of like moving my muscles around them, you know what I'm saying? But like you could stab me, poke me, nothing, you know what I'm saying? And that was crazy. And that scared me so much that I went to the hospital. But they put me through a CAT scan or whatever, confirmed I wasn't having like a stroke. They were also concerned about possible deep vein thrombosis, because what was happening is my arm specifically would tighten up, and this one, like, you could compare the two next to each other, but this one, it would get all veiny, and you could see all like my veins in it, and it would get all like red and tense and stiff, and like one hard solid piece in comparison to the other arm. And then if I did like any flexing with it at all, it would just get worse, and like to the point that it was really shockingly painful. So I went to the hospital and they took care of me. And after about 2 weeks or so, that started going away. And I was like, phew, you know what I'm saying? Lots of ringing in my right ear, just lots of like heat, lots of swelling. That was crazy. Klonopin with just benzo withdrawal, it's no joke, bro. Like, it's fucked up. And I know there's a documentary they're about to come out with next year, 2017, about benzos. And I saw the preview for it. It's so fucked up. Like, so many of these doctors that are prescribing these pills don't understand the effects of them, because there is no understanding of them. There's no book on how to prescribe benzos or how to get off of them. There's one lady, thank God, and I believe her, Dr. Margaret, I believe, Dr. something, starts with an M. She wrote out a 15-step guide to getting off of benzos. But outside of her 15-step guide that you have to go and find online, there's no doctor that's trained in it. There's no center for it. It's fucked up, yo. It's fucked up. And you figured that with that being the case, they would prescribe it. But that being said, I would still go through it again. I would still go through the benzos again, because just the good versus bad time ratio, you know what I'm saying? The amount of panic attacks and anxiety attacks they suppressed and prevented and helped greatly outweighs the amount of time I had to go through the withdrawal. And again, I may still be going through the withdrawal. I don't want to jinx it, but I feel better than ever. And when I say better than ever, I don't mean just since I've been off of it. I mean better, like even when I was on them, because I was when you're not on them and you've been on them for as long as I have, you get to a point where you're just waiting for your next dose. You know what I'm saying? And that's fucked up, because in between doses you're shaking, shit's like trembling, you're sweating, and it gets to a point where you don't even realize it anymore. And I know that because really about that time that the numbness started going away,
I thought that I started checking my heart rate a lot because I thought things were starting to give out because everything was starting to feel really light. And I'm sorry, I'm getting see, I'm getting anxiety talking about it. Just talking. Let me calm down. Hold on. All right, where was I? Yeah, so I I started thinking things were going really wrong with my body when really all that was happening was that I wasn't having constant heart palpitations, and I didn't have like this internal vibration constantly happening. And I realized that when one night I got up to pee during my sleep, and then I went back to bed, and when I laid back down in bed, it was very still. That's the only way I can put it. I was very still. Like my breathing was very consistent. It wasn't like this, like, you know what I'm saying, like tight almost. It's not. It's sort of like when you jump into really cold water, but not quite that intense. It was at first early on, but no, it just eventually got, over the last couple of years, it's just gotten to this general just ugh. Then after that went away, I was still very jumpy. Like you could still like very like noises that were normal noises, just like my chair moving. You know what I'm saying? I'd like shift the chair and it would make like a squeaking noise. That would make me jump, and I'd like look back and I'd have to assess the situation. And like by the time I realized what I was trying to assess, I realized it was retarded. But that seems to be going away. See, so these are the reasons why I feel like I'm on the other side of the withdrawal. But again, it could be coming back. So where am I? Where am I now? Horace and Pete. I wanted to talk about Horace and Pete. To anybody who's bought, anybody who's purchased any of Louis C.K.'s content from his website, and because he's so good at making it happen, he cuts out the middleman, and his specials are so good that they're worth the $2 through PayPal to watch it, right when it comes out, as opposed to waiting a year before it comes out on Netflix. Not to mention it helps him, and it goes to his money, it goes to his pocket specifically, and which will motivate people. If he's successful doing it that way, it'll just motivate people to do things independently more. So it's important that when I see people do things independently, I try to help them be successful with it. Anyway, if you've purchased anything of Louis', you will have gotten an email, about, I want to say 2 months ago. No, it'd be 3 months ago now, because there was 10 episodes, and every Saturday he puts out one. But what's the best way to describe Horace and Pete, man? It is a fucking fantastic show. It is a conglomeration of legendary actors. Steve Buscemi, Stephen Hart, of course Louis. I think Pamela Adlon was in there for a little while. Bunch of fantastic, legendary actors. And like every week he would get a new person in there, but it all happens all in one place. It's like one thing in a bar, and it's just people sitting there bullshitting in a bar. But the last episode was crazy. Hold up, I want to pause this and just make the last part of this just talking about Horace and Pete. I'm done talking about my own stuff right now. So if you want to just hear me bullshit about Horace and Pete, please follow me into the part 4.